Greetings and salutations. We're back again. So here we're going to discuss planters, farms, solar farms. So there, I've come to a few realizations about the efficiency of solar farms, and it's really about economy of scale and the time that it takes. And so, the realistic aspect of it is your play time. You might jump on, you might be on for 45 minutes, you might have a crop pop. And then there's like two standards when stuff grows. There's an offline grow mode, and then there's an online. Like when you put stuff to craft and you log off, some stuff does craft, but it's at a slower speed than if you just sit there and watch it. There's like two metrics that take place, and I haven't gotten my head fully wrapped around what it is yet, but here I have economy of scale. So I've created an XL T2, and the reason why it says T2 is because it's got a tier 2 CPU in it. This thing has 912 glow prots, and I've engineered these things to where I can segment them out. And I want them as thin and as linear as possible, so that way I can just like start at a row and just run down a row and then just pick all these plants, and run all the way down, and then start here and run all the way down. And I'm trying to get this visually as hourglassy as possible. And so, same thing, run all the way down. And there's a reason why I didn't put a bunch of lights. I just left the grow lights because the grow lights are enough to illuminate. But then when you add regular lights, what it does is it reflects off of the glass, and then it doesn't allow the space to seep in to get that really powerful like aquarium look that I'm trying to achieve. So, and I'm trying to scale these things up to class 10. Right now, I have this to class 8. I think this one's class 7, and I got it engineered to stuff to where I can kind of. This one's a large XL, so that's a 2X. This is a 1X. This one does 700 grow plots, and same. Everything's the same. And the nice is the way that I've modulated this up. All these railways and everything are correctly spaced out, so I can just keep emulating the spacing and everything. Just it worked out really nice in its metric, and then in its geometry. Here's a large. This one's 570 grow plots, and this one's a medium, and this one is 399 grow plots, and I'll probably do a small, but I have to figure out how I want to do that. I'll probably do a small, and but they're all solar, they're all self-sufficient, and it just kind of shows you economy of scale and functionality. They all work. I've actually got a large in the persistent universe on a survival game right now, so it's on a live server. Yeah, and so you can actually see it in effect, see it in kind of in actual usage. But yeah, this is where I'm at on these. I think I might go one more larger and push the envelope. Um, Push the envelope on it. It's a little tricky, but I got it to where it's not too painful to scale up. It only takes a few minutes to scale it up. And yeah, but there you go. There's some solar farms that are just start to get at 1,000. This is close to 1,000 plots. And when you get to 1,000, that's crazy, right? That's crazy to think that you could scale these things up to 1,000. But there's 1,000 grow plots right there, 912. And then I got to figure out what a wedge actually holds, and that's how I've been doing it. Is I just been doing it from wedge to wedge. And when I cut and paste these, I cut and crop them. I cut and crop them on the wedge. So this wedge will splice directly over this wedge, and by doing that, it maintains all the symmetry and the spacing correctly because these are tied up to the ports. And so by just keeping that symmetry lined up the way that is, it allows me to expeditiously increase my volume and keep the same theme and spacing, and just keep just keep adding more and more and more to it. And that's just kind of how I was able to manage that and build in modularity kind of concept. But let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. I haven't uploaded these to the store yet. If you're interested in them, just hit me a DM, and I'll friend you, and I'm gonna wait a little while before I put these on the store. Right now I have one, but it's an older one that's actually one of Jeff's modified. I modified into a planter, but these are completely recreations. There's these are ground up buildings right here, so these are something a little different. But you can see where, because I had to do that, I had to ground up build it that way for the modularity. And but I kept certain aspects. I did keep the solar and some of the color patterns, so that way it matches that MCRN theme. I'm trying to maintain that theme to where it looks the same as you modulate up through. So that way, if you decide to play somebody else's stuff like Jeff's stuff, but then you want to play some of my stuff, all of it has a synergy and it all works together and it looks like it belongs. And that's part of what I'm doing here. But as always, let me know what you think. Thanks for following. And feedback is always welcome.